Greetings, students, and welcome to Humanities 205, Technology and Human Values. This class explores the relationship between technological development and individual and social values in the Western world from ancient times through the present. It includes technologies connected with a variety of areas such as medicine, printing, agricultural production, work, ethics, art, and architecture. Since we're going to be using the word technology a lot in this class, you should probably know the definition, which for the purposes of this class will be the practical application of scientific knowledge to the improvement of human life. Or, put it another way, it's how we as human beings make science serve our needs or interests. The guiding questions we'll be dealing with throughout this class are what are the impacts of technological developments on human values? What are the moral and ethical implications that arise from technological change? How can technological innovation change human behavior and human values? What are the ways technology affects the non-human environment, including plant and animal species upon which human beings rely? What are the different viewpoints or perspectives regarding specific technological innovations? And how can technology produce unintended consequences? Two scenarios where such questions might come into play include the detonation of the atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan in 1945, and the widespread adoption of the smartphone across the developed world since the early 2010s. Obviously, the detonation of the atomic bomb has raised questions about the moral and ethical implications of technological change, including the ethical responsibilities of scientists who help to develop such transformative technologies. The smartphone, meanwhile, has obviously had loads of unintended consequences, some positive, like the creation of many new economic opportunities and jobs, like developers, for example, and some negative, like escalating rates of mental health problems among adolescents. Human values are principles, beliefs, and ideals that guide our behavior and shape our perception of what is important, desirable, and morally right. A useful analogy for understanding the role of human values in our lives is the character Jiminy Cricket from the 1940 Disney movie Pinocchio. Jiminy is always telling Pinocchio, quote, always let your conscience be your guide, unquote. When Jiminy talks about your conscience, what he's really talking about are your values, or the things you believe to be morally right or true. They serve as a compass, influencing our decisions, actions, and interactions with others. Our values are deeply ingrained, both in individuals and in societies, and play a crucial role in defining our personal identities and collective norms. Examples of human values include, first, compassion. The value of compassion emphasizes empathy, kindness, concern for the well-being of others. It involves showing understanding, offering support, and practicing acts of kindness. Integrity. Integrity encompasses the value of truthfulness, duty, and sincerity. It involves being truthful in one's words and actions, upholding ethical standards, and being accountable for our behavior, and also following through on the commitments we make. Respect. Respect entails recognizing and valuing the worth, dignity, and autonomy of every individual. It involves treating others with fairness, tolerance, and consideration, regardless of their backgrounds or beliefs. Equality. The value of equality promotes fairness, justice, and equal opportunities for all individuals. It involves rejecting discrimination and upholding equal rights, regardless of race, ethnicity, gender, national origin, or social status. Freedom. Freedom values emphasizing individual autonomy, liberty, and the right of self-determination. It involves respecting personal choices, freedom of expression, and the absence of undue restrictions on individuals' actions and beliefs. And lastly, environmental stewardship. This value emphasizes the responsibility to protect and preserve the natural environment upon which we all rely. It involves promoting sustainability, conservation, and responsible resource management for the benefit of future generations. These examples highlight just a few of the diverse range of human values that exist across cultures and societies. Technological development can reinforce existing values, but it can also challenge or reshape them in profound ways, just as the technologies we choose to develop are always a byproduct of the values we hold dear. It's also important to recognize that different individuals and communities may prioritize certain values over others, and those values may vary in their relative importance based on social and cultural contexts. An example of this might be the uranium mining boom that occurred in the American Southwest, particularly Arizona and Utah from the 1950s through the 1970s. It brought prosperity and new economic opportunities to large segments of the region's population, created a lot of new jobs and businesses, improved local infrastructure and property values. But all of that progress came at a cost, which was primarily borne by the largely Hispanic and indigenous labor force who worked in the mines, especially Navajos, many of whom suffered long-term health consequences, such as escalating rates of cancer from exposure to radioactive dust in the mines and groundwater pollution from toxic mine tailings, etc. So, why does all of this matter? It matters because understanding human values and their significance is essential for fostering harmonious relationships, ethical decision making, and the development of inclusive and just policies. It also helps us make ethical decisions about innovation and think critically about technological progress. Exploring the origins, influences, and conflicts surrounding human values allows us to engage in meaningful discussions and promote values that contribute to individual and collective well-being.